For me personally, the safety of a car is probably the most technologically advanced part and the most important. Having children is probably what matters to me the most. Now, I first thought maybe the world's so-called most technologically advanced electric car had super duper safety systems that would prevent me or my kids, in particular my kids, from getting killed. But it hasn't yet been safety tested. And another car from this same brand recently got a 4-star safety rating, failing to get the 5 stars that usually is a prerequisite for luxury cars. It's all over social media. It's everywhere. This car apparently is a technological masterpiece, a tour de force, truly the epitome of the precipice of electric vehicle technology. In fact, it's setting the world on fire with its revolutionary technology. And while I'm just reading the blurb here, in fact, I've read the reviews, I've read the specs, and I have no idea what's going on. I need your help. Please educate me. What am I missing? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. This would be funny if it wasn't sad, but truly my brain is not working today. Clearly, there's something going on. Maybe I'm all turning to mush and I'm just losing my senses because this new car has come out. Everyone's saying, not everyone, but a lot of people are saying this is a technological masterpiece. It's the absolute epitome of electric vehicle prestige luxury technology all put into one, and it's just brilliant. I've read the reviews, I've looked at the specs, and I'm absolutely baffled. I don't think I've ever been more confused. That's really saying something doing this job, because boy, some days the specs and all the things I'm reading, trying to put 2 and 2 together and work out what's really going on can be a bit of a brain fryer. But here, what I'm confused about is why everyone is parroting BMW's claims without actually doing any research. Why are they saying? They're just basically reading BMW's press brief and repeating it verbatim. Are these people working for BMW? Are they employed by, I don't know, the family of BMW staff? Because I frankly just don't understand. Now, this thing, to give you some context, it weighs 2,720 kilos. It is the heaviest sedan you can buy right now. The heaviest sedan you can buy. In fact, it weighs as much as some pickup trucks. But as you can see from the images, it's not really that big inside. It looks very luxurious, no doubt. Now let's actually look at the specs, the features, and try and work out what I'm missing. So here they are, 2,720 kilos. So it weighs about 6,000 pounds. Yeah, seriously. And it has 296 miles of range. Now, just to give us some context here, the Tesla Model S Plaid, and the Tesla Model S is a smaller car, but not enormously smaller, has the same number of seats. The back space doesn't seem that different to me. Anyway, Model S Plaid weighs 4,766 pounds, meaning it weighs 1,200 pounds less. And it has a range of 396 miles, whereas this BMW has a range of 296 miles. It's got 100 miles less of range. It doesn't appear to me as if the battery technology is all that cutting edge or revolutionary. I mean, maybe it is, but from the specs we're seeing here, it doesn't seem all that different. Now that range figure, by the way, is EPA, not the WLTP number. The WLTP number appears to be higher than that by about 50 miles. Now the reviews that I read said that this BMW will come with level 3 driving. However, when I did a bit more research on this, which it appears as though journalists didn't do, none of them, in fact 3 different reviews I read all said it comes with level 3 driving, and I was a bit like, wow, this is great. BMW must be clearly cracking the autonomous driving code. And well, BMW says the car comes with level 2 self-driving. However, it is capable of level 3, and at some point in the future, that will most likely be released. So how much is it? Well, in Australia, it's $300,000. That's about $200,000 US. In the US, well, the price depends. Could be as low as 120,000 US dollars. It depends on what state you're in, what base model you're able to get, and how much markup the dealer wants to put on that particular car. Now, in terms of its performance, of course, I compared it to the Model S Plaid, which is the fastest production car you can buy. So maybe that's not a fair comparison. However, it is priced at a similar price to the Model S Plaid. In fact, it's more expensive than a Model S Plaid will be here in Australia. So that's a fair comparison then, I'd say. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. So 0 to 100 in about 4.7 seconds. And considering the weight of this car, I think it's actually pretty decent performance. I mean, considering it weighs 6,000 pounds, that's pretty fast. How much power does it have? Well, it comes with 500 horsepower and a 101.7 kilowatt hour battery pack. That's usable battery pack size. So far, I haven't been able to figure out what exactly is revolutionary about it. So I was thinking, well, you know what, maybe charging speed is really good, right? I mean, you can get 350 kilowatt charging speed for your Hyundai Ioniq 5. Tesla vehicles have 250 kilowatt charging speed, lots of chargers that will do that speed. I thought surely that's what they've done. You know what? This is a technological tour de force. Everyone's saying it must have really good charging speed. Well, charging speed is 195 kilowatt. Doesn't seem all that technologically groundbreaking. And then I thought, well, for this price and these claims of being a technological masterpiece, well, maybe it has like a semi-solid state battery, or, it has a CTP structural battery pack, or, something like that. Maybe it's got castings to reduce the weight, or maybe it uses lots of high strength aluminium or carbon in the structure, but it doesn't. It's just steel. Now, there was one thing that I thought was pretty damn impressive: the interior. The interior is, well, to be honest, nowhere near as big as I thought it would be, considering this is a 5.4 meter long vehicle. It's nearly as long as a Ford Ranger. Ford Ranger, yeah, it's that big. But because it has a very long front bonnet, which doesn't have a frunk, in fact, there's no space in the front bonnet that I can figure out, the interior isn't as big as what you'd expect. That said, you can actually put out a footrest, and if the front driver puts their seat far forward, you can use that footrest. So that's super luxurious. I think that's what people would want, right? Yeah. Now, one other thing I noticed is it's got a massive screen, a really cool massive digital screen in the back. And I first saw that digital screen, I thought, damn, that's impressive. My boys would love that screen. I was thinking, yeah, that would be awesome to have. Then I thought, hang on a minute. That's the widest screen I've ever seen. Now, right now, I'm looking at a super wide screen. The screen I'm looking at is about 42 inches wide. So it's about the same width as the screen in that car. And I thought to myself, every time that I watch Netflix or some sort of YouTube video or something on this screen, it doesn't fit. It only covers half the screen because, even widescreen movies are not very wide. They're only wide enough to cover a certain amount of width. And then I thought, how would you watch that? What's the point of having a super wide screen like that no content is formatted for that size of screen? It doesn't make any sense. Why not put a screen actually that comes down further, and then you could actually watch content on it properly? That would be truly luxurious. So the screen isn't really all that luxurious, as is the fact when you consider that there's EVs and cars in China you can buy for about a quarter of this price with screens that size as well. Now, of course, in the West, we don't have a lot of those cars here now. So, we perceive that this is a super luxurious thing, but we will soon. Don't worry about that. They are coming. Now, aside from that, I do think the interior does look pretty pimp and luxurious. I'm not really a big fan of those lights and that lit up headliner. I think the lights are a bit gaudy, but apparently the dealers are saying in person, they look fantastic. So I'll take their word for it. Now, as for the interior luxury, I actually do think this is pretty damn luxurious on the inside, aside from the fact that that screen's not very practical. Those seats look super comfortable. And I think it'd be a pretty nice place to be. A lot nicer than a lot of other places anyway, that's for sure. Now, I was thinking to myself, this is one big car. So maybe one big benefit of this is it's got a really big boot space at the back. I mean, it's 5.4 meters long, like as big as a Ford Ranger. It must have a big boot. But it doesn't. It's only a 500 litre boot space. I mean, for example, the Tesla Model 3 is obviously a much smaller car. It's 4.6 meters long versus 5.4 for this. But that has a boot space of 425 litres. So it's only, a little bit smaller than the boot size in this massive car. So I thought, well, let's compare it to a Tesla Model Y. That's a bit bigger, right? That's a bit bigger than a Model 3. Well, the boot space in the Model Y is 820 versus 500 in this 7 Series. So I guess you could fit some ultra expensive luxury Gucci suitcases in that boot. But probably not a whole lot else. Or maybe you could even fit a person. I mean, isn't that what people do, right? People who isn't that what the kind of target market people who drive these kind of cars do? Like drug lords and mafioso, that kind of thing. Anyway, just joking there. Now, finally getting to the looks. The first picture I saw was of the rear of this car and I thought, that's a good looking BMW. That's nice for a change. And then I saw the front and I went, yeah, that's not my cup of tea. Is it yours? Let me know what you think. Do you think people will see this car and think technological masterpiece? And if they do, why are they thinking that? Because I personally don't understand. I don't see the batteries being revolutionary. There's nothing revolutionary about them at all. I don't see the motors of the car as being revolutionary, or the structure of the car, or the way the car's been made. I don't think it's really all that revolutionary at all. But everyone's saying it is, and so clearly I'm the one here on an island all by himself, and I just don't understand. Clearly, whatever is happening here, I've missed the party, so I need you guys to help me. Please let me know in the comment section below. What am I missing? Thanks for your help, guys. Bye-bye.